Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Julie from Rebel Alchemy. In today's video, we'll be looking at meditation and the reasons why you need to meditate, as well as flipping the concept of meditation on its head to give you some simplified hacks that will help you achieve a meditation state much more easily. Meditation has become a buzzword in recent years, mainly because literally everyone on the planet is either stressed, depressed, or suffering from some form of anxiety right now. We're told that if we meditate, this will help to calm us down and quieten our busy minds. But what's interesting is that no one really elaborates on the fundamental reasons as to why you need to meditate as a means for your daily survival. We all know from experience that when we're stressed, it becomes impossible to think straight and we lose the capacity to make rational decisions. Meditation is the perfect antidote that removes all of the extraneous clutter from our minds. And it goes without saying that to achieve an inner state of peace is an invaluable gift that we all strive for. But there are other, more critical reasons as to why you should incorporate meditation into your daily practice. So, what is meditation exactly? Meditation as a technique is the art of raising your vibration to reach a more beneficial brain state. And once you're in that beneficial brain state, you're able to facilitate a better quality of life by way of manifesting your dreams. You can basically plan your life according to how you want it, as well as minimizing the risk of serious illness developing. When we think of meditation though, we generally have the stereotypical image of somebody sitting cross-legged on the floor with their hands in a mudra position. And if this style of meditation works for you, then fantastic. However, it doesn't work for everyone. It certainly doesn't work for me. I've never meditated in that way. This stereotype can be a bit detrimental at times, as it often alienates a huge chunk of society, as people mistakenly assume that it's solely connected to Eastern religions. And when you're from a different culture, or if you're not religious, then you might think that it's not in alignment with your beliefs. But it's important to stress that meditation is inclusive for everyone. As a rule, meditation is a neutral practice. Yes, it may have been heavily endorsed by the East, but it's an inherent birthright that everyone has the right to access. As we'll discuss later on in the video, there are other methods for you to achieve meditation if this particular stance doesn't resonate with you. So how does meditation work? In order to understand the mechanism of how meditation works, I guess we can refer back to Nikola Tesla's famous saying, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." When we're in a state of meditation, we're pulling in energy from around us in the atmosphere. We need this energy to keep us alive. We get an adequate supply of energy from our food, and that prevents us from dying. But the way to replenish your energy on a mass scale is through meditation. It's a bit like a car filling up with fuel. Without fuel, a car cannot function. And it's the same with humans. Without sufficient energy, the body cannot function. Everything in the universe is comprised of energy, and absolutely everything, even a solid object, is in a constant state of vibration. Humans are constantly vibrating, and the more energy that we accumulate, then the higher our vibration becomes. When we raise our vibration high enough, we're able to tune in to a plethora of frequencies that are roaming around in the atmosphere, in the same way that we tune into a radio station. There are literally billions of hypothetical radio stations that our brains can attune to in order to access knowledge and insights. This so-called intel is roaming loose because each and every one of us, including everyone that's ever lived on the planet, is emitting electrical brainwaves that carry information out into the universe. So we're talking centuries worth of information that's floating around for us to grab onto, providing we can tap into the right frequency. If you follow scientists like Bruce Lipton, you'll hear him talking about the memory existing outside of the skull. So, contrary to what we've been taught, our memory is not actually associated with the brain. It's actually connected to and is part of the universal energy field. The universal energy field is a bit like a gargantuan computer network that sends information back and forth. We constantly transmit information through our thoughts, and similarly, we can also receive information back in the form of intuitive downloads, inspiration, insights, and ideas. If you think the concept of receiving information from some universal network is a bit strange, then take a look at multiple discovery. This is when more than one inventor independently comes up with the same idea as someone else, usually situated on the opposite side of the world. Of course, it's not such a big deal in this day and age because we have things like the internet, TV, radio, and telephones, so it's easy to assume that perhaps one person was subliminally influenced by another through something that they saw or heard. But what about hundreds of years ago, before technology existed? How was it possible for multiple people located in different parts of the world all to think of the same idea simultaneously? Examples of which are Isaac Newton in England and Gottfried Leibniz in Germany, who both discovered calculus in the 1600s. And then in the 1800s, you had Joseph Swan, again living in England, and Thomas Edison in America, who both patented the incandescent light bulb in the same year. This phenomenon is possible because we're all connected to an inexhaustible network of information where a pool of data can be downloaded at any time. Scientifically, it can be explained in the form of quarks, which are the smallest known particles in the universe. Quarks have the ability to be in multiple places at the same time. Moving on to the different brain frequencies and the frequency that you need to access to reach a meditative state. The predominant brain state for most people is called beta. And this is the brain state that we use when we're wide awake and functioning throughout the day. The beta brain state has a frequency of 12 to 32 Hertz per second. The second brain state is called alpha, which is a deeply relaxed or a semi-sleep state. This is the minimum brain state that you want to aspire to be in at all times. Alpha is the initial portal that will connect you to the universal network where you can access the infinite pool of information. Alpha's frequency is 8 to 12 Hertz per second. Even deeper than alpha is the theta brain state. Theta is a detached relaxation state that induces vivid mental imagery. We dream in theta. It's also the level of hypnosis. The frequency of theta is 3 to 8 Hertz per second. Lastly is delta. The delta brainwave will either be a very deep sleep or a very deep connection to the universal consciousness. That's if you can manage to access it during meditation and stay present. The delta frequency is 0.5 to 3 Hertz per second. There is another brain state called gamma, but we don't tend to group this in the same category as the others, as it represents the level of super consciousness. So, the dominant brain frequency that you should aim to be in should either be alpha or theta. This is where you will still be conscious and in control, however, fully functional in your right brain. The right brain is also called the subconscious mind and is infinitely more powerful than the left. To put it into perspective, the left brain can only process 2,000 bits per second, whereas the right brain processes 400 billion bits per second. So the disparity between the two is incalculable. If you want to achieve superhuman accomplishments, you need to be in your right brain to do this. So, what are the benefits of meditation? Well, on a physiological level, it's scientifically proven that when we're in a state of stress, our energetic vibration becomes very low, and that's when sickness begins. Meditation as a practice alleviates stress. Meditation feeds the cells in your body with high octane energy, which helps them to regenerate on a more superior level. Because meditation raises our vibration, it elevates the physical body out of a danger zone, lifting us up and away from sickness. You have to remember that energy is scalable, And the more you meditate, then the higher your vibration will become over time. And once you reach a neutral vibrational level, you'll be able to mitigate disease much more effectively before it has the opportunity to permeate in the body. If we take a look at Life's Energy Chart by Dr. David Hawkins, it doesn't pertain to meditation per se, but it does give you an indication of the frequency levels that our emotions equate to on a scale of 1 to 1,000. In his work as a psychiatrist, Dr. Hawkins devised a means of measuring his patients' frequency and discovered that anyone with a score of 200 or lower was definitely clinically sick. So this would equate to anyone who had persistent feelings of shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride, and courage. The beauty of the right brain is that it's fearless, whereas the left brain generates fear. This is why you need to operate dominantly in your right brain to extricate yourself away from the doldrums of negativity. From a psychological perspective, the higher your vibration, then the more contented and at peace you begin to feel. If you can manage to hit the deepest levels of meditation, you'll generally experience a feeling of euphoria. Your body will feel weightless, like you're floating. Some people even have an out-of-body experience. Also, when you're in a theta frequency, the brain switches off its pain-generating function. So providing you can drop into a theta state, you can use meditation as a means of pain relief. With regards to the practical benefits of meditation, the first benefit is learning. We learn faster when we're in an alpha brain state, as the brain is more suggestible in this frequency. This is the reason why children learn so quickly. It's because, depending on their age, they will either be in a delta, theta, or alpha brain state, which is more conducive for remembering things. So if you're studying, revising, or learning a new language as an example, you will be able to retain and recall information much more easily as your brain is more receptive at these frequencies. Another main reason why people meditate is for manifestation. If there's something that you're striving for, like a new job, a new house, more money, new relationship, when you focus your intention on that subject in a meditative state, the solution of how to acquire that particular goal will generally begin to manifest in your day-to-day life in the form of synchronicities. Remember that the brain is constantly transmitting signals. So when you transmit information consciously at the right frequency out into the network, you begin to receive downloads of information back in a sequential pattern that will guide you in the right direction until you obtain your goals. Similarly, if you have a problem or a dilemma, meditation will help you access the solution because all of the answers are already stored up in the network. In both scenarios, the answers that you're seeking can sometimes come instantly, but depending on the issue, you may have to meditate on a topic for several days, weeks, or even months before you get conclusive resolution. Also, it's important to note that the answers don't always appear in an obvious, grandiose fashion. A lot of the time, it can be very subtle nuances that land in front of you. So you need to pay attention as to not miss any of the messages that are being sent. And if for any reason you don't get an answer, then it's typically because you didn't ask the right question to begin with. So you'll need to go away and reformulate the sentence. If you're trying to manifest this week's lottery numbers, that's not very realistic. But if you're trying to manifest a great business idea that will help you make $1 million, then that's more achievable. Another main reason why people meditate is to heighten their intuition and develop their psychic abilities. The more you meditate, then in time, you should hopefully be able to access the deeper brain state. Lastly, when you're connected to the universal network through meditation, you have the capability of being able to perform superhuman achievements. Just like athletes, sometimes you see athletes performing the most incomprehensible moves. It's because they're connected to an energy outside of themselves in that moment that enables them to produce pure magic. This can happen unconsciously for some people without the need to meditate. Depending on who you are, some people are automatically attuned to an alpha or theta brain state. They're born that way. So this would apply to artists, creatives, musicians, athletes, sportsmen, inventors, and people like myself who do some form of healing and energy work. With regards to alternative ways to meditate, if sitting cross-legged on the floor doesn't work for you, the alternative method would be to sit upright in a chair. This method is more favorable because you can do it anywhere. You can even be sat on the train in the morning on your way to work. So once you're sitting upright, you want to keep your eyes closed. Then take 3 deep breaths and continue to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Then most importantly, imagine a beam of white light pouring down on you from the top of your head, which is your crown chakra, like you're sat under a waterfall. Imagine the light traveling down your body from the top of your head all the way down to the soles of your feet. You might want to incorporate some visualization with that and imagine yourself sat in your favorite location, like by the beach or out in nature. The white light obviously represents the energy, and the whole objective is that you're filling yourself up just like a car. If you're using meditation as a means for manifestation or problem solving, then just simply focus on the issue that needs to be worked on whilst you imagine the white light pouring down. But you must remember to use a positive statement when you're manifesting. Remember that your thoughts are energy being sent out into the network as a command. So you have to imagine your problem being solved already in order for it to come back to you in its fulfilled state. Imagine you're already holding the keys to your new house, or you're already working in your dream job. What you send out will come back to you verbatim. If you're not great with visualizations, you can just repeat a statement in your head. Some people find it easier to record their statements and put it on loop and then play it back whilst they're meditating. Similarly, you can repeat positive affirmations, or if you prefer to use guided meditations, there's tons here on YouTube that you can listen to. In all of these scenarios, ideally, you want to spend around 15 minutes a day, twice a day, in meditation for maximum benefit. If you're the kind of person who's very pragmatic and you need science-based evidence to validate everything, then I would suggest doing the silver method. You may have heard me mention silver before in my earlier videos. Although I've done the course, I'm not paid to advertise them. It's just a brilliant program that everyone should do at some point in their lives. What's good about silver is that it's very productive. You program your brain to perform tasks whilst you meditate, so you don't have to sit there struggling to keep your mind silent, which I know most people find difficult. On the contrary, you're giving your mind something to do. You can use the silver program for everything: manifestations, overcoming addictions, insomnia, weight loss, healing, and so on. You can also try breathwork. Breathwork is very popular at the moment. This is where you intentionally focus on your breath. There are lots of breathwork videos here on YouTube that you can check out. Prayer is also meditative and is repeating mantras. If you remember that everything in the universe has a frequency, this includes words. Certain scriptures and prayers carry particular frequencies that help to elevate your vibration and solve certain issues. Music is also meditative, and this is probably the easiest way for everyone to raise their vibration in an instant. Music is frequency which directly resonates with the cells in the body, thus creating a healing effect. Running and exercise and walking are also deeply meditative and will put you in a meditative brain state. You may find that when you go for a run or if you exercise, this clears your head and solutions to your problems suddenly begin to emerge. Being out in nature can also be classed as meditative, as certain locations and areas are known to have high vibrational energy which you can then absorb when you're out. Even taking a shower. I know it sounds mad, but a lot of people usually get their best ideas when they're in the shower. We generally shower in the morning when we're still in a semi-sleep state, which is an alpha state. So this can be an opportune moment to get a huge download of ideas. The important thing here is being able to recognize your own individual meditation point. This is your barometer for discerning A, when you've entered a state of stress, and B, what tools you can readily access to elevate your vibration into a meditation zone as quickly as possible. To recap, meditation can be any activity that raises your vibration. The key to obtaining a better quality of life is to be in a predominant alpha or theta brain state throughout your day. So that's it, guys. If you found this video helpful, please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And if you would like to support the channel, then you can find the details in the drop down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.